Okay, before this party political broadcast even begins, I have to talk about Sunak's overall delivery. He's terrible, absolutely rubbish. So wooden and robotic. I'm reminded of the Stepford Wives film where Catherine Ross sees her robotic double with lifeless eyes. It's easy to imagine Sunak with the same.
I know. This has been a tough winter.
You haven't got a clue. You're almost a billionaire. You spent £400,000 on a new swimming pool for your £1.5 million home, and it cost £13,000 a year just to heat it. So off with your I knows.
Our country faces some of the biggest challenges any of us will have seen in our lifetimes.
And most of these challenges have either been created by or exacerbated by the Tories.
With our economy, in our NHS, on our borders. 3 months ago, I was brought in to fix those challenges.
Who brought him in? The Tories did.
Now, I want to give you a full update on our progress. Like many countries, the UK faces profound economic challenges.
And one of those challenges was the Tory Party electing Liz Truss, who cost the country £30 billion and added a steep rise in people's mortgage repayments.
Putin's illegal invasion of Ukraine saw all our energy prices rocket.
Yes, but the energy companies made massive profits that you refused to tax.
That's why, when I first entered office, we took difficult but fair decisions to get our borrowing and debt under control.
No, you didn't. It's the same old And what's with these stupid graphics?
That will help us to reduce inflation and ease the pressures you're facing with the cost of living and get you the support you need with your energy bills.
It's a known fact that inflation is predicted to go down anyway, without government intervention. Again, impose a windfall tax on the energy companies, so government money isn't being siphoned into big businesses.
Those difficult decisions also allowed us to give the NHS record resources.
Oh, okay. Please see our video on how record resources are going into the hands of private companies who work within the NHS, rather than to the NHS itself.
More funding, more doctors, more nurses.
Why are they leaving the profession in droves then? Why are nurses having to go to food banks? You robotic-sounding piece of
Every family worries about getting the NHS care they need for themselves, their parents, grandparents, or children.
So if you're voting Tory, you're voting to kill the NHS and turn it into a private healthcare concern.
But COVID has done huge harm to the NHS. It's created massive backlogs, which we're working through.
Oh, I don't know if I can take this anymore. This passionless crap, especially as he's blaming COVID again, when records show that the NHS was in decline way before COVID.
But Britain's heroic response to COVID shows that where the political will exists to really grip a problem, we can bring everyone together.
The support for the NHS had nothing to do with politics, especially Tories. And this begs the question, why aren't you giving nurses a pay rise, you rich robot?
And achieve the unthinkable. That takes leadership, so I've immediately set in train a new approach.
Oh my God, this is making me feel sick. I can't look at his stupid face anymore.
And taken the best of our experience from fighting COVID to reduce NHS backlogs and get patients treated quicker. My dad was a doctor and my mum was a pharmacist. This is personal for me.
My dad was a doctor and my mum was a pharmacist. Aren't they ashamed of what you've become? A rich ass with no empathy for the pain and suffering you're causing, you robot.
And I'm determined to get the number of people on waiting lists falling.
Off.
And I will not let you down.
You have already. And then he spends another minute talking about illegal migration, which is the same peddled by the Tories to distract people, so I can't even be bothered to react to this.
Under my leadership, the government's priorities are your priorities, the people's priorities. Together, we're putting your needs above politics to repair the economy
that Liz Truss broke,
strengthen our NHS,
that you've run into the dirt,
tackle illegal migration,
that you're using as a distraction to admit to the horrors you've inflicted on Britain,
and restore pride in the United Kingdom, our great country.
then resign, you robot.
Thank you.
Watch this about Sunak Bingo, and then you can rewatch this and play it yourself.